On the news this afternoon, Ogoni stakeholders ask Governor Wike to lead discussions with federal government over resumption of oil production in OML 11. The Nigeria Police Force imposes 24-hour movement restriction in Anambra State ahead of tomorrow's governorship election. Six persons abducted from University of Abuja regains freedom. On foreign scene, Portugal's president announces plans to dissolve parliament. I am Ifiemi Andrew. An indigene of Ogoni, Celestine Akpobare, has criticized the choice of Governor Nyesom Wike to lead the Ogoni delegation in the multi-consultative forum to discuss with the federal government on the planned resumption of oil production in OML 11 in Ogoni land. Mr. Akpobare, who is also an environmental rights campaigner, told correspondent Emeka Otuka that there are competent sons and daughters of Ogoni who can lead such delegation and not the governor. He said the governor is not supposed to be part of the delegation because he had earlier said that the Rivers State government has acquired 45% stakes in OML 11.
It's a decision for those that went there. You can speak for them. Well, I was invited to the government house for that meeting, but I did not attend. Two things are wrong about that. One, the Ogonis that gathered there are the leaders that the young people look up to lead them. We have senators that were chairmen of committee in the National Assembly that have to do upstream and downstream. That is an expert, world class, that can discuss that much more than Wike. Why didn't they lead? Then secondly, Governor Wike has told the world severally that he has bought OML 11. And you are telling the same person, an interested party, to go and lead you to even discuss on same OML 11. In that sense, he is not qualified to even be at the meeting because he's an interested party.
As you may know, Ogoni stakeholders yesterday met with Governor Nyesom Wike and unanimously agreed that the governor should lead a multi-consultative forum to discuss with the federal government on the planned resumption of oil production in OML 11. Former president of the movement for the Ogoni people, Masop Ledum Mete, who briefed journalists shortly after a closed-door meeting with Governor Wike at the government house in Port Harcourt, said the governor was chosen by the stakeholders to prevent those who may want to adopt divide-and-rule tactics to cause crisis in Ogoni. The Nigeria Police Force has imposed a 24-hour movement restriction in Anambra State beginning from 11:59 p.m. today. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Zaki Ahmed, said the move was to ensure security during and after the election. He said intervention squads have been created in all 21 local government areas of the state to respond to any crisis that may occur during the election.
It is going to be a hitch-free exercise by the grace of Almighty God. And we have our commanders in all the local government. We have created intervention squad in case there is any distress call. The intervention squad will respond adequately and take care of the situation. If there is anything, you can reach us. Our doors are open. We will be alive to our responsibilities, so you can reach us at any time. We should all collaborate with one another. The objective is to have a peaceful, free and fair election where everyone will participate without any hindrance.
Also, the Force Public Relations Officer Frank Omba, during an interactive session with the media and international and local observers for the Anambra election, said synergy between the police and media observers is to address issues of fake news during the election.
We want to deepen that synergy and create a seamless opportunity for us to be able to work together. In the course of this election, we will all have concerns about fake news. We appeal to you, work with us so that we can all do appropriate fact-checking, so that we can stem whatever news that is false, that is rearing its ugly head. We can work together to nip them in the bud before they go viral.
There appears to be a renewed interest by the Anambra people to participate in Saturday's governorship election. Correspondent Kenechiko Foma, who went around the states to monitor the move, reports that people are actually gearing to cast their vote tomorrow. At the Oka South INEC headquarters, Amabia, people were seen waiting to collect their PVCs. Some residents said they are traveling to their hometowns to ensure that they vote because they are encouraged by the heavy presence of security personnel.
I I am participating fully. Tomorrow morning, I don't travel to my village. I'm going to my polling unit on Saturday to cast my vote to my own candidate. I tell on their number all these things whether they tell them not to scare them away so that my people will go come and steal our vote.
I'm very much ready to participate in the election, considering the federal government's approach towards ensuring a safe election and calming everything around. I think the environment is safe for election to take place. The fear I was having then was the intention of IPOB not to allow the election to hold, but I think the fear is in a reduced manner now.
Relevant authority, they go ensure people say their life and safety go down because as people they see army people they pass, the motor they pass, they see people they make comments say are we fighting battle here in Anambra, but not be so. They enter the state to protect all of us, make Bege no happen.
I think what's a need is now more information to go around different vicinities, informing people that they should come out and vote, that the fear of unknown is truncated. There is nothing like fear, so they have a clear conscience to come out and vote without any hitches.
Also, some other residents said they will participate in the election because the state cannot afford to have a vacuum.
We can't say that there is no election. The last time youth did protest and SARS and police brutality. But one thing that I believe, once we put a good leadership, we can even achieve what we want to achieve.
We are coming out to vote because the worst thing that will happen to Anambra State is to have stalemate, that they will declare state of emergency here. So as a mother, I'm encouraging people to come out and vote. I believe that nothing will happen. Let us choose our leaders by ourselves. The worst thing that will happen to us is for us to run away and they will steal our show. They will put somebody that we don't want in that seat and will continue to suffer.
In the meantime, IPOB has denied calling for a boycott of the Anambra governorship election tomorrow. The group, in a statement by its spokesperson Imar Powerful, said that its priority is to ensure the release of its leader Nnamdi Kanu and not the elections. IPOB also claimed that it has not asked anyone to impose a sit-at-home order. Moving on, the family of one of the persons killed by armed men during a raid on the residence of a witch doctor, simply identified as Mike in Edoha community, Outer East Local Government Area, Godstime Felix, is seeking justice. Elder brother to the deceased, Saturday Felix, told our correspondent that his brother was killed by OSPAC members from Onelga.
I'm not a holder when I hear that there is an evil man in the village. So I rushed to there to see. When I reached there, they said that the man have run and disappeared. Nobody know why he disappeared. And from there, boys then went to his house. Maybe if they will see him, maybe appear in the house. So they went there and they don't see him. In that process, OSPAC then came. And they start to shoot. Those OSPAC is a bad OSPAC from that man. That man have trained them. According to information, people living around that area, they say they used to see that OSPAC in that man's house. They are going special duty for that man. That's why they came. They shoot to cover that man. So in that process, they were shooting. The gun touched some people. Almost 3-4 people said. So sustained and later they survived. Personally, my own brother, is our last born. We are not happy. We are still finding way to know the OSPAC, where they are coming from.
Also, the youth leader of the community, Chisa Okbosuogu, said the youths of the community want the OSPAC members that killed one of them to be brought to justice.
We will not carry gun, we will not carry knife, we will not carry stick. Because our plan to carry that man, hand over to police. Our plan, we will not get power to kill any person. That's why the man is in the vessel still today. We they pray, may God review the OSPAC, the leader of OSPAC. May them bring those guys come because you are not happy. We are not happy at all. No community go kill 20 person, then say only 2 dead body. We go happy now. Make OSPAC bring those guys. But for this one, the ones who don't but for this our Edoha matter, this native doctor matter. May them bring the OSPAC man, the main man, we kill those our brothers.
Other members of the community also spoke on the incident.
When that man was doing that sacrifice, someone passed at night and he saw a child was crying seriously for the person now went away. It was on that morning the person now go to investigate the place that child was crying. When they went there, they saw a lot of ritual charms and a lot of things that the man have done, and the person now took those things out. When they took it out, the community now saw that what could be this, they now said that they should invite the man. And when they invited him, he came peacefully. They asked him, what about this and what about the child that was crying yesterday? He couldn't be able to say anything.
We dey try and go town hall. So as we want enter, he say, okay, man no vex, man no beat me. We could go there, man, sure that we are buried the 3 months baby. So, okay, we want to know the baby and who get the pikin. As we dey go, the man disappears. Now we receive our movement.
Anytime when they come with us back then. When searching the shares, we now saw our brothers' picture. Almost all the old picture there. The owners of the picture, all of them are all dead. Many of them are from this community.
When contacted, The General Commander of OSPAC in Onelga, Kingsley Ogumike, said he is not aware of the incident. He, however, promised to investigate the matter. A former president of the National Association of Akbani Students, Elechi Chimankbam, has accused OSPAC in Akbani in a Akure local government area of Rivers State of abducting and torturing him over allegations of financial misappropriation. Chimankbam, a student of Rivers State College of Health, said he was reported to OSPAC on issues bordering on alleged embezzlement of association funds.
My successor accused me of embezzling the association money. He reported me to the community OSPAC, and the OSPAC called me to come and render the account and clear myself. So I came back to render the account and clear myself. So OSPAC asked me to pay 5,000 naira first before I will render the account. OSPAC started beating me, and they beat me to the extent that I fainted, and they broke my right hand, and I was bleeding both from my mouth, from my nose, even to the extent that they broke my head on that same day. They took me to their cell, and I stayed there for hours before my father paid them 5,000 naira and they released me.
Chimankbam said that OSPAC also threatened to deal with him if he reports to the police or makes the matter.
Yeah, threatening me, threatening my education, threatening my life that has happened. Anytime I come back to the village, they will shoot me, and also they are going to write a letter to my school for my school to withdraw me. What I want them to do is I want justice. I want all the things that I have spent money, and I've been living in pain for how many days now, and there is no money for me to continue the treatment what they did to me. And I don't know if this hand will be able to, I don't know if I'll be able to use this hand again, and this is my right hand. I don't know what will happen to me if this hand did not work again.
Meanwhile, an OSPAC personnel in Akbani, Kingsley Onyeche, said the student union leader was locked up for fighting with OSPAC members.
The day they elect him, we are the people that guide the place. Even when the problem wants to come, we are the people that tell them that what you need is one man, one vote. We guys when they elect him. So if I say that we are part of them, it's not wrong because we are from Abani and we cannot be their problem come. So the account want to bring a lot of problems. So we tell them that come and do the account. When we defend, if we defend somebody, the person don't stay more than 24 hours in our cell. Before 24 hours, we'll call police to come and give your people the come there, we'll shop the matter.
Our correspondent reports that the Center for Basic Rights Protection and Accountability Campaign has petitioned the executive chairman of Akure local government area on behalf of Mr. Elechi Chimankbam. Still ahead, 6 persons abducted from University of Abuja regain freedom. Stay tuned.
Reggae music have a philosophy, you know. It's not just entertainment.
Love and hate can never be friends, oh no.
There's an idea behind it, a way of life behind the music, a positive way, a progressive way.
Blood.
No two ways about it, you know. Reggae music make you feel good. Reggae music make you feel irate.
Come sing for them, baby. That song they hot daddy. All night, you jumping hot. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Coming soon to Nigeria Info.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Irate Jam Down.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
The 6 persons abducted from the University of Abuja and the FCT have regained their freedom. About 3 days after gunmen attacked the staff quarters of the university in Gwangwalada Area Council. In a statement, spokesman for the FCT Police Command, Josephine Ade, confirmed that the victims were rescued by a joint team of operatives from various security agencies. In business, the federal government is planning to buy 10,000 tractors from Brazil to boost agriculture in the country. The government also said it would establish model grazing reserves in selected states of the country, beginning from next year. In entertainment, EFCC has released socialite Obi Cubana 3 days after he was arrested for alleged money laundering. EFCC spokesman Wilson Owujare confirmed that Cubana was released on administrative bail. In sports, Nigerian champions Rivers Angels have arrived in Cairo, Egypt, where they will take part in the first ever CAF Women's Champions League, which begins today.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Portugal's president has announced plans to dissolve parliament and call a snap election on 30th of January. Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa cited the National Assembly's rejection of the government's draft budget for 2022, the first of such occurrence in decades. On the news this afternoon, you heard that Ogoni stakeholders asked Governor Wike to lead discussions with the federal government over resumption of oil production in OML 11. We told you that the Nigerian police force has imposed a 24-hour movement restriction in Anambra State ahead of tomorrow's governorship election. 6 persons abducted from the University of Abuja have regained their freedom. On the foreign scene, Portugal's president has announced plans to dissolve parliament and call for a snap election on the 30th of January 2022. The news is edited by Enoho Ogbeviri. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Cloudy weather is expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time and enjoy your day.